This is really a right now solution for optimizing your life. This is also a longevity solution, anti-aging solution, because of course your skin is tissue too, and that's going to reflect if you are highly toxic in different elements and highly deficient in others.
One thing that I've always loved about you, Barton, is at events, you always bring your tinctures and you always bring your supplements and you leave them out generously for people to try. And you say,
Yeah.
hey, just do it for a night and let me know how you
Yeah.
feel tomorrow. And that's how quickly people are feeling the difference. And I think y'all, America has a sleep epidemic right now. And I have to tell you, there's an easy fix to that. And it starts with the right supplementation. And these are high quality supplements that are going to be good for your body. They're going to be good for your soul, and they're going to be so good for your sleep. So if there's anything you hear today, just know that these are some of the best on the market. When I'm talking to my friends about sleep, people are telling me they're having sleep challenges. I point them right over to Upgraded because it's such a great product. It's such a miracle worker. And you're right, Barton. So many people are actually really low in magnesium and they're not getting the right kind of magnesium. And I think that part is also so important. And to be fair, like nobody teaches us this stuff, right? Nobody points it out on the shelf. We don't get an opportunity to do that. So until someone like you comes along and gives us an education, or someone that's tried it. What I would love to know from you is because I feel like this is another piece that's so important, because when we're talking about things like testosterone, for example, we often hear like, oh, that's for men, right? It's always advertised to men. Testosterone is always advertised to men, but it's really like we all need it, and it's not going to make us grow, ladies. It's not, unless you want it, I guess. I don't know who wants facial hair, but I'm going to say for most of us, like we're not looking to grow facial hair, and I think there's some fears around that. So can you speak to that a little bit?
Yeah, the fun. It's like the age-old conversation of, I don't want to lift weights. This is like
That's right.
any woman talking that hasn't lifted weights for years in and out. Right. I don't want to lift weights because I'll get bulky.
I'll look like a man. Wow.
Yeah. There's so many men out there that wish they could, and they have on average 10 times more testosterone than women. And they wish they could easily put on muscle mass, and they're in the gym several days a week. So we all need muscle mass. It's sort of a longevity organ, so to speak. And so because it, let's zoom out towards the end of life, frailty is what gets a lot of people. Their balance isn't great because they're not moving enough. They're not moving enough because they have really like calcium buildup. It comes back to everything we're talking about. So they feel stiff. It's not comfortable, and they their energy levels lower as a result. Their thyroid functions lower as a result. All these things we see in the hair test, by the way. So this is really a right now solution for optimizing your life. This is also a longevity solution, anti-aging solution, because of course your skin is tissue too, and that's going to reflect if you are highly toxic in different elements and highly deficient in others. So, it's really all of the above. Like your ability to detox things is going to be hugely impacted if you have a deficiency like any of the ones we talked about that are really important.
Yeah.
And especially things like magnesium. Yeah, and I do. I love that you shared that about giving products away. It makes me really happy to see people use the products, and whether they pay for them or not. If they see us at a show or something. And because I mean, there's nothing more gratifying than seeing change and transformation in people, I think.
Yeah.
And right. And so I really love that. And there's so many different ways to talk about this, but with hair, you're really supporting your personality. And with and that is, for example, I'll tell a brief story. So there was a friend of mine a while ago, and we she had she had been doing a lot of different, hard things. She had run a half marathon. She had been training for a lot of things. And I could tell she was just like not her normal self. And she sort of like just lost her cool. She told me her car got towed, and yeah, she broke up with the person she was like just was just at her wits end, like hanging by a thread basically.
Yeah.
And um and it turned out I I got her results in like 2 days after that because she had sent them in. She could tell something was wrong. She just didn't know what
Mm.
was. And her sodium to potassium ratio was so low that it was in the range that, and this is not super uncommon by any means,
Mm.
but it was so significant that it would be labeled bipolar by a psychiatrist or
Wow.
psychologist. So the good news is that is reversible, and so that is that's something to think about. I think the most hope inspiring thing that is a core tenet that I teach is it's all reversible and it's all possible as a result. So yeah.
I love that. I love that. So good. So good. Yeah, we can make
Oh,
so
and
many
sorry.
great positive changes. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, sorry to jump in. I just realized too, I wanted to touch on the testosterone part that you talked about. In terms of supplementation, another brief story. So one of my most fit female friends, she was probably 30. It's a couple years ago when I was having this conversation with her. And upgraded tea was just coming out, and we were sitting in a sauna together in Austin when I was still living in Austin. And she said, oh yeah, I'd love to try it. I take a testosterone cream like twice a day. I was like, oh wow, interesting. I thought
Mm.
she was just. I mean, she already worked out. She already had eaten well her whole life. She had been a personal trainer. Even her, that throughout her entire lifestyle, nutritionally at least, and workout. I mean, she was a close friend too, and she worked for me as a nutritionist. She was one of our 6 nutritionists at the time. She that was helping people with going over the results with this hair analysis. And so, actually, this might have been right before she came to work with us. She said that she was doing this, and I was just so surprised. And I've gone on to realize that so many women either are on testosterone replacement at an early age, even women,
Mm.
and that nearly all women and men, by the time they're 25 today, thanks to soil quality and environmental toxicity, water and air, for example, being so much, I mean, like literally 1,000 times more toxic was a real metric than in recorded history. When you look at like traffic in major cities, water in major cities. Thankfully, we're about to start a nationwide ban on fluoride. It sounds like, which is
Yeah.
not at all helpful to the teeth at all. This is just a mistake they made a long time ago, and then they just went with it. It's just too painful to
Yeah.
reverse an error, I guess.
Mm.
And I mean, that's at least one story, but regardless, it's
Right.
not good, and it's pretty documented. But it does slow people down mentally and cause issues with the pineal gland, and therefore, higher level thinking and
Yeah.
intuition, like you're talking about, that I value
Yep.
so much.
Yeah.
Right, those divine downloads. You get a
That's right.
lot more of those when you're healthy, and that might be one of the most spiritually, you know, one of the most spiritually empowered, or just such a beautiful gift as a side effect of getting physically healthy and mentally healthy.
Absolutely.
Um,
Yep.
and so this testosterone piece was just key. So she started taking upgraded tea, and she eventually got off of her testosterone replacement, and she feels a lot better. She's not dependent on a cream, and this is 5 nutrients that are all clinically studied, that we've done a clinical trial on as well. But each one of the nutrients that we're using is the right nutrient that has a little R trademarked by the name. And that means that, in this case at least, those have gone through a clinical trial, their own clinical trial that company paid for, and they found the right dose and the right frequency and things like that, and they saw
Mm.
certain improvements. So they all helped improve testosterone, but they all also, well, not all, but many do improve nitric oxide, which is great for the pump in the gym, for feeling
Yeah.
vascular. great for sex, great for health, great for blood flow and skin. I mean, it's heart health. It's so many different things. It's nutrient transport. So, so that's, I mean, that's huge.